Here's what you should know about your local housing market in this week's market update. We are getting closer and closer to Christmas. As such, I'm seeing really light activity in the housing market, much more so on the seller side than the buy side. I still see plenty of buyers out there. A lot of the sellers that I'm working with or that I'm talking to my colleagues about are prepping, getting ready to go on the market in spring. A lot of them really want to wait until that prime springtime. But I will tell you, there are buyers out there right now, and there's very, very little competition. So if you are thinking of selling, at the very least, you should have an exclusive off-market listing. If you're with a good agent, they do have a robust buyer pool. And so there still is an opportunity to reach that buyer pool without racking up days on market. So that is something you should be considering. So if you're thinking about springtime and you haven't talked to me yet, now is the time to start talking to me, prepping that house, but also getting some exposure to some serious buyers who might be willing to pay spring prices now to be able to get into that house. The other thing that I'm seeing is, the new buyer's agency rules. I hate calling them new buyer's agency rules because they are old now. It is not new anymore. That went into effect in August. You got August, September, October, November, December. 5 months in now. We've got a lot of agents out there who are completely clueless with how these new buyer's agency rules and guidelines work. That's a big deal. That really is a big deal. If you're working with one of these agents that doesn't fully understand the ins and outs of these new buyer's agency rules, you really are at a disadvantage. The ways that long and short, the way that it works now, it's much more complex. It really is much more complex. You need to know what you're doing. However, if you do, it actually provides so many more opportunities. There are so many more ways to structure a deal that it really is advantageous to those who fully understand it and are willing to grasp it, embrace it, and think outside of the box. So if you don't have an agent who feels extremely confident in these newer buyer's agency guidelines, I strongly suggest you look elsewhere because there's really, really some missed opportunities there. I'm seeing a lot of people drop the ball with that. So that being said, let's get into the stats this week and see what we're looking at. Another light turnout this week, as I had mentioned. We're getting into the holiday season. It is frigid outside this morning, so that means lighter activity. We saw 6 homes come to the market this past week. 2 of those were in town and 4 of those were in township. 1 of those was a single family home and 5 of those were condos or townhouses. Average list price of these homes was $963,000. Total inventory remaining at a steady, very low number. We've got 36 homes actively on the market. Sold homes. We saw 13 homes sell this past week. That's a lot of homes. 13 homes sold this past week. Average list price of those homes was $796,000. Average sale price of those homes was $826,000. So this past week, homes sold for an average of 2.7% above list price. We're still seeing really strong sales. Even though I was mentioning the activity is light, the buyer activity still strongly outpaces, the demand, the buyer activity still strongly outpaces inventory. So if you are a buyer, be ready to make a strong offer. Be ready to waive a lot of those contingencies. Terms are really important. I'm seeing a lot of deals I'm putting together where it's not necessarily going to the highest offer. It's going to the best terms with a close price, not far behind that highest price. But if you come in with the best price, but you're not waiving your appraisal and you've got full inspection terms on the table, or if you're dealing with a property that really appeals to investors and you're doing an inspection and you've got an appraisal and stuff like that, you don't have a shot. You really don't. So make sure you understand the environment that you're operating in, and that you're prepared and willing to to do what you need to do to be competitive in that environment. And then under contract homes, this past week we saw 7 homes go under contract. Average list price of those homes was $739,000, and the median days on market for those homes was 35 days. So that's crept up a little bit, but still relatively quick sales. And we did have a holiday mixed into that, which not only increased the days on market from a marketability standpoint, but we also saw a lot of attorney reviews get delayed during that time period. Another thing, if you are potentially in the market to buy, please let me know. Not only if you're getting ready to buy this spring, but I've got a lot of buyers right now that are not quite ready, that are gearing up to buy, but also ones that are in a unique situation where they're looking for a fairly unique property. They're not in a rush. There's no sense of urgency, but they do have a certain type of property that they are looking for and that would make them move. Please, let's be in touch. You'd be surprised how many of the homes that I sell, how many of the buyers I work with are not in the market. There's just a certain type of property that that would make them move, that they have their sights set on, that is potentially rare. You never know when they're going to come up, so you got to be ready to jump on those opportunities. And I've got my pulse on the market every day. So that dream home, that make me move home, might be out there, and if it is, I will find it for you. So definitely make sure that I'm aware of your dream home characteristics. So thanks for checking in with me. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll catch you guys again soon.